I don't think so, Sagarika. This was not a sexist statement. He was stating matter-of-fact operational requirement of Air Force. We require pilots to fly in the squadron because they are not allowed to have more than a certain number of pilots. Suppose there are 13 pilots, fighter pilots, out of which 5 are ladies, and they start going off pregnancy and post-pregnancy leave. You can see the efficiency of the squadron goes down. Nobody takes care of that. At the moment, we are now balancing the security of the country vis-a-vis Nari versus Purush, man versus woman debate. This is not a political issue at all. It is purely an operational issue. Barbora, Air Vice Marshal Barbora mentioned the operational requirement of Air Force and said that once they become pregnant, then they are off from flying for so long a time. He mentioned, of course, the cost, because everybody is very cost conscious, but what he was meaning to say is that operationally the
let me get in Rajana Kumari's
goes down.
Response to that. Nothing wrong with this statement, it's merely a matter of fact.
Well, Sagarika, this is archaic mindset, how far behind Indian Army and Indian forces are in their thinking. It's reflection of the macho culture that our army represents. Certainly it is very sexist remark, and I think it is absolutely unacceptable. It is even violating the India's constitution, because constitution provides for equal access, equality of rights to women, and I think at the level of Vice Air Marshal, he should know that India's constitution does not allow anybody to discriminate on any basis. Now, the second issue is about pregnancy. It is women who have right over their own bodies. They can decide to have child when they decide to have a child. Nobody can dictate when a woman should have a child. And also, if woman is going to have the child, India's law permits her to take 2 years leave, whether she is wherever. Indian forces are no exception to that, because it is the rule in, I think, Cabinet Secretary sitting with me here, he can say that 2 years Indian women can take leave, and also he is forgetting that there is a role for a man who also participates in producing the child. He also has to take a paternity leave.
The fact is,
so what kind of a mindset is this?
What kind of mindset is this? And the fact is, TSR Subramaniam, that 16 countries in the world, China, US, UK, have female pilots. China has just got its first batch of 16 female fighter pilots in April 2009. So female fighter pilots exist in other countries.
They do. I think firstly the language used is highly unfortunate. I think it represents probably a particular, I wouldn't generalize it, of the Army or Air Force, but particular person's mindset. I personally feel there may be operational reasons, but this is the worst way of putting it. Having said that, let me balance it and be a little more light-hearted. Men or women are equal, but they are different. There are some things men do better, some things women do better. I personally think that women are the superior race, frankly speaking. I prefer the ladies that I know much better in a very casual kind of a way. But I think, for example, you can't expect a man to bear a child. I mean, he does not. Even if he can physiologically do it, 9 months he does not have the patience. Women, on the other hand, have certain divine qualities. They look after the home better, they look after the child better, they are very good nurses.
Divine qualities and all that is a bit of a trap, Mrs. Subramaniam.
No, divine qualities.
This is the Devi
divine qualities, except as I say, except when...
But the world is changing very, very fast.
I would like to intervene here.
Yes, go ahead, General.
Sagarika, I'd like to intervene here.
Go ahead, Wing Commander.
Sagarika, it's a question of divine quality or no divine quality. Air Force has women as transport pilots, has women as helicopter pilots, has women as missile operators, fighter controllers. There is no dearth of women. Ordnance, ASC, engineers, everywhere they are there. But they are not in infantry. You know very well.
Commander Bakshi.
See, it's all...
Wing Commander Bakshi.
Sagarika, it is all... Sagarika, I'd like to let me finish it. It is all very easy to say that America follows it. America itself has given a medical report in which it says that if female fighter pilots have a problem during pulling high Gs, they have the leakage of urine, they have during the periods, they have menopause, the problem of hormones in high altitude flying, and hence they are thinking of reviewing their statement, and they don't put them
let me get in
does not put them in the combat.
Okay, but let me get in General Shankar Raichaudhuri, who's been listening very patiently, former Chief of Army Staff. General Shankar Raichaudhuri, is it important now for the Army to make it clear that women are there in the Army, as our defense correspondent Vishal Thapar was telling me earlier today, simply for puff and PR? They're simply not there for combat roles. So, you know, they've been put in medical, they've been put in accounts, they've been put in all the other branches that Wing Commander Bakshi was talking about. They're not in combat. So the army maybe should just come out and concede, no, the army is not for women. Instead of going through this ritual exercise of trying to induct women and not inducting them, why be piecemeal? Why not come out and say, no, women cannot rise further in the army?